So recently, I covered my top 10 divine spells for the remaster. So today I thought I'd cover my top 10 brand new and updated cleric feats in Pathfinder 2e. First up, I want to talk about War Priest's armor. This one allows War Priest clerics to wear heavy armor rather than just medium armor. And the heavy armor even scales with your proficiency with medium armor. Plus, this feat reduces the bulk of armor that is 2 bulk or more by 1 to a minimum of 1 bulk. Meaning, even War Priest clerics that don't have much strength can still carry what they need. Before, War Priest clerics could only wear medium armor, so they couldn't really be effective tanks. However, with this feat, they won't be as good as a champion at tanking hits, but they will be decent at it. And War Priest clerics no longer need dex for defense since they can wear heavy armor. Next up, we've got Restorative Strike. This one is great action economy for War Priest clerics. For 2 actions, not only do you get to heal yourself with the 1 action version of a heal spell, expending the spell normally, but you also get to make a strike. This does have to be in melee, but if you use your deity's favored weapon, you get a +1 on the attack roll. If this strike hits, you can heal another willing creature for the same amount that you healed yourself. This second creature can be out of the spell's range as long as it's adjacent to the creature that you hit. Not many feats give you a straight bonus on attack rolls, so make sure you consider this feat if you are a War Priest. Sacred Ground is a great one to use out of combat. By spending 10 minutes, you can create a 30-foot burst centered on yourself. This burst lasts for 10 minutes. Anyone who remains in this area for the full 10 minutes regains hit points equal to your level. If you're a healing font cleric, you heal living creatures, and if you're harmful font cleric, you heal undead creatures. Clerics with the versatile font feat can choose either or both at the same time. This aura does not damage any creatures. This feat is great to combine with the Treat Wounds exploration activity, as this is just more healing on top of that, since Treat Wounds requires 10 minutes anyway. Great for both healing clerics and necromancers. With Divine Rebuttal, if an ally is about to roll a saving throw against a magical effect coming from a creature that you are adjacent to and you're wielding your deity's favored weapon, you can use a reaction to hit that creature. And if you're holy or unholy, you can add that trait to this attack. If this strike hits, all of your allies gain a +2 circumstance bonus to their saving throw against the triggering effect, +3 if you get a critical hit. This one is especially helpful if you've got creatures that can cast spells, especially demons and or angels, depending on whether you're holy or unholy. Bottom line, again, this is extremely helpful for War Priest clerics. Not so much for cloistered though, because cloistereds really don't want to be up in front trying to hit people with weapon attack rolls. At least not in melee anyway. Now we've got another great one for War Priests, and it's even great for cloistered clerics as well. With Zealous Rush, if you cast a divine spell that takes at least 1 action to cast and only affects you or your equipment, you can use a reaction to stride up to 10 feet. If the spell in question took at least 2 actions, you can stride up to your full speed instead. Unlike Restorative Strike, this one can give any cleric great action economy, since you're moving as a reaction. It is, however, limited by the fact that the spell in question can only affect you or your equipment. So it is better for War Priests. However, this feat is on this list because moving around can make a difference, even if you're not a War Priest cleric. Next, Heroic Recovery has changed slightly. It still gives a +5 bonus to speed and a +1 to attack and damage rolls. However, it now allows the ally to also stand up from prone as a free action that doesn't trigger reactions. So even if an enemy does have Reactive Strike, you can allow an ally to stand up without triggering it, which strategic-wise is kind of a big deal, especially since you're allowing them to stand up even though it isn't their turn. Next up is Fortunate Relief. This feat gives you advantage on checks to counteract effects if they come from healing spells. So basically this feat works on spells like Sure Footing, which I covered in my Divine Spells video. And getting advantage on those type of rolls is pretty awesome, especially since those have been buffed. You wouldn't believe how rare getting advantage on anything is in Pathfinder 2e. So anything that you can do to get that is pretty awesome. At that same level, we have Sapping Symbol. This requires the Raise Symbol feats. I'm not going to go into detail on that feat here in this video, but I will very quickly go over what it does. Essentially, Raise Symbol is the Raise a Shield action, except it applies to saving throws rather than armor class. However, if your symbol is a shield, you gain the effects of both. But with Sapping Symbol, if you have your symbol raised and you're about to take damage from a melee attack, you can attempt a religion check against the will DC of the creature trying to hit you. But regardless of the result, that creature is immune to this feat for 1 minute. If you get a critical success, the target is enfeebled 2 until it spends at least 1 action moving away from you. If you get a regular success, it is only enfeebled 1. This is another one that is very effective on both War Priests and Cloistered Clerics. On Cloistered Clerics, it gives enemies an incentive not to attack you. And on War Priests, it's an effective way to make enemies waste actions, as they are enfeebled until they move away from you. Next, I'm going to cover one that I think would be incredibly broken on champions, but I think would be pretty good on clerics, especially War Priest clerics. Channeling Block allows you to spend a heal or harm spell whenever you use the shield block reaction to increase the shield's hardness by 1d8 per rank of the spell you expended, but only for that particular block. Meaning if you really needed to, you could just block all the damage coming your way. And the shield wouldn't take any damage either. Another great feat to take if you're trying to make your War Priest Cleric a tank, which, with all these new feats, is definitely possible. And the last feat I'm going to cover for this video is Inviolable. With this feat, every time a creature hits you, they take 3d6 spirit damage. You can make this damage holy or unholy if you have that trait. This is not just weapon damage either. This is any attack, meaning creatures that hit you with spells also take this damage. It also means athletics actions with the attack trait also trigger this damage. Effectively, any creature that tries to use a hostile action against you, other than things like intimidation, takes this damage. Another great one for both Cloistered Clerics and War Priests. As again, for Cloistered Clerics, this is an incentive not to attack you. And for War Priests, this means enemies that attacking at range take this damage. And since most War Priests are going to want to be wearing heavy armor from 2nd level, this effectively means you don't have to worry about ranged attackers. Because even if they do hit you, they're taking damage. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. And I love hearing from you guys, so if you have any feats I didn't cover in this video that you guys think are good, you can let me know down in the comments. If you're interested in my top 10 Divine Spells video, you can check it out right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, teamwork is vital. It helps us solve problems.